Is he all right?
He's gonna. I don't know.
How does he always know?
I don't know. Anytime we start recording, that's when you know what these guys are gonna think we're lying.
Yeah, no, they actually don't think we're lying.
They're gonna think who pretends to not have
Yeah,
to have a pet.
But that's why they'll think we're telling the truth, because who pretends to have a pet? Yeah.
Unless we are double bluffing.
100%. You can't make that up.
Well,
You
maybe
hear that?
something just dropped over. Maybe something was leaning and we just.
So
made
it was leaning.
Okay, let's start with the plot hole I found. Well, at least I think it's a plot hole. Maybe you can tell me. Listen to this. You're locked in now, innit?
Yeah, because I think a plot hole. Do tell.
There was a world-famous author who goes by the name Charlie. Charlie unexpectedly dies, leaving the keys to his cabin where he writes all his chart-topping novels to his wife/agent named Kitty, right? Mm-hmm. Kitty is also Grady Green's agent. Grady is obviously our main character, as you know. Kitty, in turn, hands the keys to Grady for him to use the cabin to write his book. In this cabin, Grady finds what is hidden under the floorboards, which turns out to be an unreleased manuscript, obviously written by the world-famous Charlie before he died. Grady duplicitously steals this manuscript and passes it off as his own, because who would know, right? Mm-hmm. So, where is the plot hole, I hear you ask? A portion of the book was focused on Grady worrying about Sandy, who was a close confidant of the deceased Charlie. Yeah. Grady, for a significant portion of this book, worried about whether Sandy knew about the hidden finished manuscript, as he was worried about getting caught, obviously. Did she know about it? He worried. Does she know about it and has read it? Or does she not know about it at all? Grady kept going back and forth and even made covert attempts to extract the information out of Sandy. It was supposed to be quite the suspenseful event. What Alice Feeney has failed to realise is that in either case, whether Sandy does know about the manuscript or not, it doesn't matter. Since nobody from the island leaves the island, how would Sandy find out? Yeah. How would any of them know that he stole the manuscript and published it as his own? The answer is they wouldn't. And even if they did, who are they going to tell? Who are they going to tell?
Who would they?
They're not going to leave the island.
Legit.
So yeah, the author was dangling this mini plot as some drama-filled, blood-rushing, worrying thing when it wasn't. Surely the author didn't overlook this herself.
No, I don't know.
Pause this video right now. Go and read Beautiful Ugly by
Alice Feeney. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us anyway because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library. No! I don't think she overlooked it. You know, somebody came out, let's say somebody came out and said, J.K. Rowling stole all the Harry Potter books. You know, she never wrote a word. She stole all the... No, she made the money. She made the money 100%. No one could take the money away from her. And people have tried to take the money away from her as well. They've just only made her richer. They've only made her richer. But it would be a big story. People would, it would get the clicks and it would go worldwide anyway, regardless if
it was a person from an indigenous island.
I don't know if it would matter who it was.
No. Sorry. Not... If it was a person who had released the book on an indigenous island and we had to go there to go and spread the news to all the locals, it wouldn't really catch on. No one would care. You know, in this society, it would blow up. It would go viral. But because it's a small island, they don't even know about what's going on over
I suppose
anyway.
I think the main plot twist that you discovered is how is she going to get to the mainland. I think that's the
She
huge...
wouldn't.
Yeah, she wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the main plot twist that you discovered.
Yeah, it wasn't
but
really
as opposed to who's she going to tell? She could find loads of people to tell.
No, she could.
But but it's like, how's she going to get there?
Yeah, how's she going to get there? How's she going to find out?
Send mail.
It's not a big deal. I wouldn't be worried about that.
I'd have killed her.
But yeah, so what did you think of the book?
I thought it was all right. I thought it was, if I was going to give it a score out of 10, I never like to do your little 5 out of 5 scale. I like to do out of 10.
It makes no difference.
It makes a big difference in my mind. It makes a difference. I would probably give it a solid 4.
Out of 10?
Out of 10,000. No, I'm joking. Out of 10, yeah, I'd give it a solid 4.
Not even a respectable score.
You don't think it's a respectable score? Listen, look, I think there was good things about the book and it had my interest in it. Like, it had me, and then I had 1 or 2 problems, and then the end was I took like 3 points off for the end. Like 2 or 3 points minimum.
Off the end.
Minimum 2 or 3 points off for the end, because I was literally just like, wow.
Do you have a spoiler free point or spoiler free, or I'll just go?
I've got a couple spoiler free points. I can go.
No, I mean like what we normally do. Spoiler free.
Oh, what? Spoiler free.
You don't ever write anything down for spoiler free.
No, I don't. I just do it raw.
Okay. How many points do you have, by the way?
I have.
I think I got about 5.
I've got 8.
All right, cool. So you can have, you can go first. But let me just say what I thought of the book. I personally thought the book was excellent. Okay. I'm going to give this book a solid 1 star. You see what I did there? Exactly what the author did. Flat out lie to the audience in the beginning of the phone call business. This is supposed to be spoiler free, so I'm not going to ruin it. But there was a complete lack of action in the whole book. Where was the originality? I think it's amazing how boring the book was. I genuinely couldn't tell you who was more interesting, Grady or Columbo. Why is it that most of these main characters have a pet? Most people in real life don't have a pet, do they? Would you say that there are more people in the UK who have pets than there are people who haven't got pets? Or would you say it's the other way around?
I really couldn't say.
Because I think there's an over-representation of people who have pets. And I want to get to the bottom of this. I'd like to speak to the author directly because I know you're watching this.
You think they have
Alice
a pet?
Feeney.
She's got a pet.
Fuck your pet. Alex Feeney.
Definitely don't do that.
I didn't mean it. But it's funny because we got a pet. So
I was about to say, we should get a pet for the channel.
Alice Feeney, have some fucking respect for yourself. The fact that you opted for your main character to have a pet for the sole purpose of helping you move the narrative along and it was still boring as fuck shows how useless of a writer you really are. I hope you die in your sleep.
Alice in Dumbo Land, boy. Jesus.
So, I don't have any good things to say about the book.
Really? Nothing?
Terrible.
For a shocking waste of disgrace.
It was a waste of time.
Wow.
I hated every minute of it.
You heard that here. And we still finished it.
So and I still finished it.
Do you know what I mean?
Thought it was trash. But yes, you go.
Spoiler free, yeah?
Spoiler free.
Quote of the day material in the book's first sentence. If love is all we need, why do we always want more? And I said, this is an exceptionally strong start for a book. You've given me a thought-provoking little quote that's, made me think that there's going to be more of the same to come. And there was a few quotes in this book that I thought were pretty good. Is he all right?
He's gonna. I don't know.
How does he always know?
I don't know. Anytime we start recording, that's what. You know what? These guys are gonna think we're lying.
Yeah, no, they actually gonna think we're lying.
They're gonna think who pretends to not have to have a pet.
But that's why they'll think we're telling the truth, because who pretends to have a pet? Yeah.
Unless we are double bluffing.
100%. You can't make that up.
Well, maybe something just dropped over. Maybe something was leaning and we just.
So it was leaning and something did.
But anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good quote, in my opinion. I'm going to use it again. If love is all we need, why do we always want more? Because the Beatles were full of shit. That's why. And that's the answer. And it's rare that a quote has an answer, but that is the answer. They were full of shit. And money is all you need. I'm all you need.
Should I go then?
Yeah, go on.
But you're going to have to go a few more times tonight.
Why not I just go again then?
No. Grady, the husband and main character, immediately declares how deeply he loves his wife. He says, I didn't even believe in love until I met my wife. And goes even further with, I could never love anybody how I love my wife. I could never love anybody how I love my wife.
Do you think they could? No, they saw him he was on the camera that time.
Yeah, it would cut him out.
Yeah.
No joking.
I was about to say why.
Powerful words, right? But what's the very next thing he talks about? Not her kindness, her mind, or their connection. No, he jumps in straight into the memory of the first time she let him touch her. He describes how soft her skin felt because it's ambush,
Yeah.
That just threw me off. Powerful words, right? But what's the very next thing he talks about? Not her kindness, her mind, or their connection. No, he jumps straight into the memory of the first time she let him touch her. He describes how soft her skin felt, how she moaned when he thrust inside her, because apparently nothing says eternal love like a steamy flashback.
Yeah, I was disgusted.
Come on, is that the best the author could do to define love? Two people shagging, there's no depth, no emotional weight, just physical intimacy masquerading as profound connection. If you want us to believe in this earth-shattering love, then at least try to make this relationship seem more than just sex. And here's the real flaw in the whole statement. The lazy presumption that because Grady feels love, he automatically understands it with perfect clarity. But let's not forget his own words. I didn't even believe in love until I met my wife. That's an admission of being wrong before. So if he's wrong about love not existing, why couldn't he be wrong again when he claims he could never love anybody else the same way?
Yeah.
Feelings change, people change. And if this is his definition of love is this shallow, how solid is that love really?
100%.
My question to you is, do you think the author purposely gave a shallow depth?
No.
Let me just answer the question.
You knew I was going to say no.
Do you think the author purposely gave a shallow definition and example of love? Or do you think that's what she truly believes love is?
I don't think either. I think this idea of love sells, and it's what people want to see in books. And it's always what we're going to see in books. And to believe that this author put a shallow definition of love is to believe that all authors have a shallow definition of love. Their definition of love in media is like the love emoji. It's like the heart emoji. It's not what a heart looks like.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Yeah. No, that's actually quite interesting for you to say that. So you think that the author doesn't believe that's what love, and she purposely put that shallow definition in there because people like that.
I
because
think
that simple paragraph does not make the book. She could have.
Yeah, of course.
She could have chose to say, "Oh, I love her mind. I love the way she does this, that, the other."
I think people. I think
Why
most
would
people
you choose to?
You know what I think? It's because we're us. Most people don't think about what love is.
Yeah.
Love is like you'll know when you see it type of thing to most people.
Yeah. No,
and it's like
understand that.
so most people don't think about it. So
But the author thought about it, but chose to give a shallow definition, is what you said.
maybe the author hasn't really thought about it either. I just thought, yeah, love is love, which is loads of people love to say.
So what are you saying exactly? Are you saying it was purposeful? Or are you saying it wasn't purposeful?
I'm saying it wasn't purposeful. I'm saying
okay, so it
accident.
wasn't. Oh, so she just did that because that's just what.
That's just what people think love is.
I don't understand how it couldn't be purposeful when the author explicitly explains that the first time she allowed him to touch her was when when he fingered her on the plane just after they'd met.
Yeah, nah, disgusting.
So how could it not be purposeful?
What do you mean? What are you saying?
Because how could it not be purposefully shallow? Because the first time it's not like he took her on a date and they waited for 2 months and they cultivated a love and a connection. The first time she allowed him to touch her was the moment they met on the plane when he started fingering her.
So you're saying based off that, it means it has to be purposefully shallow?
It has to be purposefully shallow. Because you couldn't...
Maybe.
There's no reason...
I agree with you. We need to get the author here so we can ask some questions. 100%. Grady is waiting for the phone call to find out that he is a New York Times bestseller. His wife Abby, on her way home from work, sees a woman lying in the road and starts to get out to assist. Immediately, Grady urges her not to put herself at risk to help a stranger and to call the emergency services instead. Bear in mind, that is the emergency services advice also. That is what the emergency services say. Do not put yourself at risk. Call emergency services.
Not putting yourself at risk.
Huh?
That's not putting yourself at risk.
What, getting out of the car to assist a stranger lying in the middle of the road is not putting yourself at risk.
Not putting yourself at risk.
I think it is.
Is it?
I think it is. It was. Or it wasn't, but it was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's very subjective. It's like saying...
she's like, I'm getting out of the car, it's an emergency. Then call 999. What do you mean emergency?
It's like saying... How do I... Let's say there was a log in the road.
Cool.
Which is like the baitest way to drive someone.
Exactly.
Are you putting yourself at risk to get out to move the log so that you can drive through?
What if you need to get past? That's one thing. But if you see a log over there and you're going this way,
yeah. But
that's what I'm saying.
Was in the road.
Huh?
The woman was in the road though.
Did. That's what I'm doing. Tokyo Drift, But yeah, defiantly, Abby ignores him and gets out of the car. This is why it's important for women to obey their husbands. You might think that is sexist, but nobody thinks it's sexist for a husband to protect his wife, right? Guess what though? If you never listen to a single thing he says, if you don't run when he says run, if you walk down a dark alley that he told you not to walk down, then how is he supposed to protect you?
Exactly.
So, this is an idea that not a lot of people seem to get for some reason. If I have a responsibility towards you, then I must have an equal amount of authority over you. Otherwise, there's no point. So, he said, it's not like Abby. He said, if you tell Abby not to do something, she's immediately going to want to do it. And I said, you've picked a bad one there. Yeah, I said, you've picked a bad one there.
Especially when someone's telling you something that's sensible.
100%.
Yeah,
like, don't get out of that car by yourself to look, go after strangers, leaving lying in the middle of the road. You don't even know them. They're a stranger. They could be dead. Yeah. Leave them. Call the emergency services.
She got what she deserved.
You've done your civic duty. That's crazy. You've done your civic duty. Call the emergency services. Please, you're not Batman. Don't do this.
Because obviously
another good quote. Alice, you're on a roll today. Grief is a patient thief that steals far more than people who have never known it understand. It's just occurred to me that I have now used 2 good quotes that I should have saved for the quote of the day. But I like to say credit where credit is due. And there's another one.
Well, she had to fill the book with something.
She
can't write for shit. Kitty says to Grady, where were we? Oh, yes, I was pretending to believe you when you said that your new book is coming along, when we both know that you haven't written a single word since the last time we spoke. he swallows.
The omnipotent agent. Yeah, no, legit.
So obviously we like Kitty. She's an interesting character, but I have a question. Why do authors do this thing where they make the side characters much more fun and interesting than the main character? Kitty was probably the only character in the book that had a personality, so it kind of gave it away for me because I knew she had to be involved or behind it all.
Of course, 100%.
So what is it? Is it just too much hard work to have the main character full of personality, and it's much easier to paint life into a side character that just has a couple of lines of dialogue here and there? Is that what it is?
I think it's the kind of thing where if you make a side character interesting and a main character sort of plain, it makes the reader feel like they are the main character talking to somebody interesting. Have you ever talked to somebody who's like interesting or funny? So definitely not now.
Maybe once upon a time.
Because neither have I. But
No, me neither.
but yeah, if you ever talk to
maybe
somebody,
onto
you ever talk
something.
to somebody who's funny or interesting, and like you want to have a conversation with them, like you want to ask them questions, pick their brain.
Yeah.
I guess that's what they're trying to give us.
It's a mad mind game, is what you're saying.
It's a bombastic mind game.
Too much now, eh? And when I do it, it's not a problem. But when you do it,
Nah, you make up shit for fun. You
you
make up shit
just
because you're
fucking
bored.
made it up.
Nah,
This book was crap, and the character was rubbish. It's all a ploy. You are the character, you boring fuck. That's basically what you
Most
just
of the
said.
real character was the friends we made along the way.
Oh gosh.
Grady goes to a Scottish island to get some peace 1 year on from his wife's disappearance. The hut on the island where he will be staying belonged to a recently deceased author and was left to his agent, who also happens to be his missing wife's godmother. Lots of coincidence right off the bat, and to compound the problem, as Grady arrives on the island, he's convinced that he saw the spectre of his missing, presumed dead wife, Abby. What could Abby be doing on the island? What will be the explanation for her disappearance? And why do I feel like this agent is somehow caught up in all of it? Yeah. They really made it too obvious right off the bat. Because I'm like, so she was the godmother to the disappearing woman. She was the agent of the disappearing man. She's given him the house. And she saw her goddaughter in the house. Like, come on. If she wasn't caught up in this, I'd be like, why wasn't she?
Yeah.
She must be the unluckiest one ever then.
I immediately didn't like the random POV from Abby, the wife, but it turned out to be quite engaging. Yeah, all of her POVs was her speaking to a therapist or of some sort. First, we had a point of view of how they met, which, as I said before, was on a plane where her future husband-to-be wrongly accused her of sitting in his seat. One thing led to another, and under the cover of darkness, he ended up fingering her there and then. Really bad, man.
Come on.
It's like as soon as he told her that he was a published author, that was it. Is that how you writers got it there? You got it like that with the girl then?
Must be.
The second point of view from Abby was even more gripping. She explained that when she was a little girl, her mother wanted her to learn the piano. The mother would leave Abby alone in another room with the piano guy. One day, the mother walked in the room and the piano guy had his trousers down and poor little Abby was on her knees. What the bloody hell's going on?
Yeah, nah,
what
legit.
The fuck is this?
Nah, legit.
What has this got to do with anything?
What was that?
What was the purpose of that story? Was it character building? Was it to show that Abby's unhinged, damaged, broken? What was that about? Because as engaging as it was, it seemed random and pointless, which is just two words that perfectly describe this whole book. What was that?
That was crazy, though.
Where did that come from, Joseph?
Can't trust it. Can't get the help these days. Can't find the
Like,
stuff.
it was just so out of the blues and random. Is that to make us feel sorry for Abby? Like, come on, there's so many different ways to do that. You don't have to have the piano guy be doing that madness. Like, there was no need.
Right off out of nowhere, out of clear blue sky, you know. Insane. Yeah, no, I suppose.
It's rubbish writing.
Yeah, it was
shock factor. There you are.
Yeah,
Bang!
it was slapdash. It was slapdash, and it was very, very sloppy. Anyway, to distract from my bad jokes, question of the day.
No, you're gonna get cancelled for that one, mate.
Demonetized straight away. Sent to jail, Azkaban.
Oh my god.
Question of the day. You are a best-selling author who has fallen on hard times. Unless you're able to deliver another winning manuscript, your publishers will sue you and your agent for the money from your trilogy deal. Your agent gives you an old cabin used by a deceased ex-client of hers, hoping that the solitude and quiet will get your creative juices flowing. While in the cabin, you discover the deceased author's last ever manuscript hidden beneath the floorboards. Only one pair of eyes have ever seen it.
Yeah.
The author's. And it's good. Jaw-dropping. Has you on the edge of your seat from the first minute. It's the Avengers Infinity War of manuscripts. You could send it to your agent, pass it off as your own, and nobody would be any the wiser. You'd be saving your career, her job, and making the publishers a lot of money in the process. But you would be stealing from a dead man and desecrating his last piece of work that he dedicated his entire life to.
I want to know, where did you get the idea for this? I mean,
It's a
fantastic.
win, right?
Talk about sloppy. Yes, obviously, I mean, you do what the character did. You steal it.
Is that what you would done?
It's just, you know.
It's what, no-brainer?
Remember, God has given you this.
So if you turn away your blessings, God won't bless you no more.
What he's supposed to do, you know? He's put you in this position. It's a test. Do the right thing. Take it.
So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
100%.
come on,
Just send that off.
If
Pack it up, send it
If I
off.
get catch later on down the line, I'll worry about that later on down the line.
That was God's will as well.
I use the money that I've gained to pay for lawyers. You know, simple as that.
Fair enough.
What would you do?
Yeah, 100%.
Clearly, by that question of day, you'd do the same.
Even if I didn't need the money, I would have stolen it.
I've got two more.
All right, let me go, and then I'll have two more after this one. Surprise, surprise, Abby wasn't actually happy in her marriage as Grady thought she was. I'm really not surprised. Especially early in the book, Grady kept saying things like, Abby wouldn't do that, or Abby isn't like that. When Abby first disappeared, the first thing I actually thought was that she ran away. Who gets out their car to help a stranger lying in the road instead of calling the police? And it's like, you don't know this. You didn't think she'd run away either. You don't know her. You don't know her. So every time he said that, I was just, ugh, you don't know who she is, man.
His personality, his whole personality was a man who had lost his wife. That was
Yeah, of course. I think maybe, perchance, and I'm going to take a leaf out of your playbook here and assume the author did something that there's no evidence for them having done. But
really?
maybe that was like grief does to people, you know, makes them different people, reduces them to what they've lost as opposed to what they have left.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people are always, you know,
that's fine.
obsessing about what they don't
That's
have.
fine, but not when you've killed them.
You know, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
I actually forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, that actually, just when I kind of stopped reading, because I was like, yo, what?
Yeah. Let me let Ember shout, because it is gone past 6 o'clock, and he did jump down. At 6 o'clock, he jumped down.
Oh,
because he
yeah,
wanted
fair
his
enough.
dinner. So,
And we are always recording at 6 o'clock. Maybe it's our fault.
yeah. He's only been in here for the last, 4 years. So,
Yeah, legit. I don't know how he knows what time it is.
Yeah, no, animals always do.
How do they know what time it is? What the hell? That means time must be a
No, they honestly always do. There's other stories I could tell you, but now's not the time. Halfway through, I realised that we're going to spend the whole book following Grady Greenbrown feeling sorry for himself and then subsequently self-medicating by giving in to his drinking problem. The funny thing is that this book actually had a plot. Grady needed to write a book or find his wife. He could have written a book and tried to find his wife.
Yeah.
He could have written a book about trying to find his wife. None of this was happening for the vast majority of the book. The author opted instead to attempt to entertain us with seemingly strange things happening to Grady, such as personal things going missing, imaginary phone calls, and somebody leaving newspaper articles that have some relation to his missing wife. This is not entertainment. And to put the cherry on the cake, Grady's wife just appeared out of nowhere. No creativity, no foreplay, just bang.
Just rammed it in.
And that was never explained, was it? The person leaving the newspapers and whatnot.
No. She just pulled up. And it was
No, but was that ever explained?
What?
You know, because every time he left the cabin, there'd be a newspaper that was left
Yeah.
for that part of it was never explained. You know, in the end and the reveal.
Oh.
That was never explained.
Right, yeah. So you found two plot twists.
Well, plot holes, but no, I don't think it's a plot.
Yeah, plot holes, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it's a plot hole. Maybe it is. I mean, it technically
It
is.
sets us up for the sequel, which we will not be reading.
I'd rather kill myself. I can't say that on YouTube.
Yeah, nah, I blew aside.
Yeah.
So Sandy, the ferry driver / sheriff, has read Charles's manuscript, which means she knows that Grady stole it, or she will know. Stolen from a dead man. Grady Green, Tomb Raider. See, I'm plagiarizing now as well. Seriously though, he's got a huge bloody problem on his hands. He should kill her. This is the moment in a murder mystery when they see a brick there. And they're like,
well, this is another part of the book. They tried to say that he tried to kill her by leaving her in the cave.
in the cave to drown or whatever. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then
When it was like,
Who told him that she died again? So like someone
don't
said she
think-
died,
yeah. Oh,
and then
so-
she wasn't. I was
Yeah.
like, what's going on? What is actually happening?
Yeah, it was all over the place. Grady and Abby have the most dysfunctional marriage in the world.
100%.
Grady gets a vasectomy without telling his wife and pretends to try for a baby, shooting blanks.
Yeah, that's insane.
Abby doesn't know about the
I respect it though.
vasectomy.
I respect it though.
Abby doesn't know about the vasectomy, but women have a sixth sense.
Yeah.
So she starts inseminating herself with her donor's sperm behind her husband's back.
That's actually worse than what he did.
That's
as
got to
well.
be cheating.
Oh,
Surely.
of course it is. You got next month nut inside of you. There's no way.
Gary
No
doesn't know
way.
about this, obviously, but he senses something's up and suspects that she's cheating. So he tries to kill her. This is the woman that he said he could never love anybody how he loves her. But lads, let me just tell you, getting a vasectomy is so self-destructive and it's not the power move you think it is. Because should she find out, you are literally driving another man's sperm inside your own woman. I would never do that.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh yeah, and if you think that ending was wild and outlandish, that's just the beginning. Turns out
iceberg.
that the whole purpose of the mystery, his wife disappearing, Kitty giving him the keys to the cabin, was also employed to get Grady to the island. Why did they want him on the island so bad? I don't really know. Apparently on this island, they kill all the men because men just ruin everything and life is better without men, except the fact that all the women on the island do need men because they need a man on the island to provide.
Yeah, no, legit.
Because
And
women
to
can't
procreate.
do it themselves.
And to procreate
What kind of
as well.
stupid shit is this?
don't
Fair
know.
enough if it was like, oh, we need a strong man to, I don't know, work the well or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, fix this. But to write a book, I mean, a woman could do that. And if you can't, that means he is just better than you. You know?
No, legit.
It's
So that
like-
means you do need men.
you-
You proved
you
you
literally
proved the
just need-
opposite of your own point.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's just so, it was the dumbest shit I've ever read. And I've read the Bible. Was that too
All
much?
right, end the stream. End the stream.
Maybe
End
that
the
was a bit
stream.
much.
That was a
Maybe
bit
that
much. End the stream. Say the Gutenberg Bible, bro. Like at least give it a little.
I said what I said. But no, in all seriousness, no, that was stupid.
Nah, that's why I said like the ending. I took at least 2 or 3 points from my score because I literally
It's
said,
like
"What
the
the fuck
author
is
said,
this
how
shit?"
can I ruin this?
I was reading to myself, and you know when you're reading, you're like, and I said to myself, "What the fuck is this shit?" So I said to myself, "Excuse me, my French."
It's like, what the hell is this?
You hold it up with 2
Yeah,
fingers.
but this is the book that you
biohazardous.
said you thought it was
I said
4
I didn't
stars
think it
out
was
of
bad.
5.
I said
You said you gave it 4 stars.
plagiarism. Ending is super confusing. So there are 2 Abbeys.
Yeah. It was,
One of them is Grady's Abby, the other is Kitty, her godmother and agent, whose name is also Abby. I feel like the author deliberately bamboozled us. Like, we were never going to guess the plot twist here. Like, if you sat down and thought about it for 1,000 years, you would never guess the plot twist because it's completely
and
nonsensical.
She's the wife of the
And then,
deceased
the
Charlie.
piano teacher, he actually harassed Kitty instead of Abby. Like, the Abby that we thought we was reading about was actually Kitty.
Oh, see, I didn't really get that bit.
We were never going to guess this.
Oh wait, so the person in the POVs
Yeah,
was Kitty.
that was Kitty, and her name is Abby, and she changed her name to Kitty.
So why
And I
was she
gonna
in the POV?
I don't know. Why was we gonna get? Why would we?
No, but
why
why
would we
was
ever
why
guess
would
that?
she be in the POV? There was no reason for that.
It was like to show how she was assaulted, and then like her goddaughter's assaulted, and like I don't know what it was, but I was like, there's no chance we were ever gonna guess that.
yeah,
Zero.
I didn't even realize that it was Kitty in the POV.
It wasn't even a plot. It was a plot knot, if that exists. You know them super complicated knots that the scouts be doing. That's what it was. It wasn't even a plot twist.
That was ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I think you know on Audible you can refund your credits. You can get your books back. So I realized
just now
that
you
today.
told me this.
No, I realized that today. I refunded 2 books. One was I don't know if it was this book.
Wow.
I refunded
all of them.
I refunded no, I think you get banned. I refunded God of the Woods.
Oh yeah,
'Cause I did that today, and I think I'm gonna refund. Well, I'm gonna refund this book as well because this book was. I'm
Surprised you didn't say the mother son straight away.
I'd rather read Mother Son over this. This was terrible.
Really?
This was terrible.
I would never read
At least the Mother
Son
Son was globetrotting. This
I
was,
don't
this
give a
was,
sh- I don't
This was
give a
globetrotting as well. To be fair.
I don't get. I mean, barely, but
Well, he did get on the plane or something. Well, I don't even know if he did that, but he
Globetrotting's got to be like, it's got to be like, you know, country to country to country. Like it's got to be like 4 countries in there.
Oh, is it?
How many? Yeah, like come on. If you say, oh, look at this Globetrotting movie, and they go to 2 countries, you're gonna be like, what?
It's the start.
Huh?
You got to go to one country to go to 2. So it's just a start.
Anyways. Anyways.
So yes, don't read this book. I mean, if you got this far, you already have, and we can cry together. because we wasted our time. It was a terrible book. I'd never read it again. I'd never recommend it. I couldn't tell you one good thing about it. I hate it. And I hate you, Alice. Till next time.
Quote of the day? You got one?
No, of course not.
Of course not. Quote of the day! A fish with a closed mouth never gets caught.
Fuck off.
And it never
What
eats.
does that mean?
A
What does
fish-
that mean?
a fish
Okay,
with a
I get
closed
it.
mouth never gets
That's
caught.
not true.
What do you mean?
So bears, sharks.
Close your mouth. I bet if his mouth was closed, it never would have got caught. A fish with a
Maybe
closed
you should
mouth.
take some inspiration.
I knew
Close
you
your
were gonna say
mouth.
that. I knew you were gonna say that. I feel like I said it already.
Yeah, I like your quotes though.
I like yours.
I like you. He doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
That guy just went to start trouble.
Yeah,
He just...
literally. Yeah.
Anyways,
alright.
till next time.